Growing up in the 80s, there was one kid in my neighborhood who seemed to have all of the best toys. And I remember that there was one toy in his collection I thought was cooler than all the rest. My friend had this car that, with a few twists and turns, he was able to change into a robot. I remember being completely fascinated the first time I saw this transformation. If you guessed that the toy was a transformer, you'd be spot on. Right? Who doesn't know the Transformers? Since the 80s, they've been quite an industry of toys, cartoons, even making it to the big screen. As an adult, as I started teaching religion classes, I started to realize that it was the idea behind the Transformers that's probably one of the biggest hang-ups people have in believing in the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. You see, I think what happens is, at the Mass, when we say that the bread and wine change into the body and blood of Jesus, people are looking for an actual transformation to take place. Imagine if that was really the case, that at the prayer of consecration, the Eucharistic host transformed into a piece of human flesh, or the chalice of wine all of a sudden became a cup of human blood. The reaction would be utter disgust. That's why the Church, in her infinite wisdom, teaches us that it's not a transformation that takes place, but a transubstantiation. Transubstantiation. Now there's quite a mouthful. What does this word really mean? Let me try to explain by comparing the two words together. Transformation and transubstantiation. The shun at the end of both of these words tell us that they're a verb. Something's happening. And the trans at the beginning of the word tells us what's happening is a change. But what kind of change? In the case of a transformation, it's a change of form or shape. The same way that my friend's toy changed from the shape of a car to the shape of a robot, even though it was still all the same metal and plastic bits. With a transubstantiation, it's not the form that changes, but the substance. So we know with the Eucharist, it's not a transformation that takes place, because at the beginning, the Eucharist looks like bread and wine, and after, it still looks like bread and wine. Still the same form, the same shape. So what has really changed is the substance. It no longer is bread and wine, but the body and blood of Jesus. I know that's something very difficult for us humans to understand, because being physical beings in a physical world, we often say we can't believe it unless we see it. Seeing is believing. That's why the Church teaches that transubstantiation is a mystery of faith. It's something we're called to believe without seeing. Or as St. Augustine tells us, something we're called to know without knowing. The next time you're at Mass, I urge you not to look for a transformation, but to know that a transubstantiation has taken place. Because the Eucharist is more than meets the eyes. I'm Robert Leblanc, and this has been A Catholic Moment.